Good morning, Kaffeeklatsch. How's everyone doing? All right, this one's gonna be bare bones, no frills, nothing extra, no music, no nothing. If you can't see, first let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me and see me clearly without any lag or hiccups. I don't see anyone in here yet. So, hello everyone. So with a little bit of a different setup, as you can tell. So I want to check the technical stuff. Let me see. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me without lag. Awesome. So YouTube is good. Let me know on Facebook. Um, Excellent. Good morning. Sneaking in, Jeanette. All right. So let me see if I could do. Okay, good. I could scroll comments, which is good. I am, as you can tell, not in the usual setup. I'm in the car. My Spectrum, which is the internet service provider, has decided that today is the day to do an upgrade of their whole service. So I went, regular, went to do everything. I turned on everything, got everything set up. I was ready, and my router is down. I'm like, what's wrong with the router? I unplugged it. I did the whole IT thing, unplug it, plug it back in. Start it over, turn it on, turn it off. Nothing. It's dead. I'm like, oh no, this is not good. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I always try and get on early to make sure we don't have any crazy technical difficulties. But this one was like down, down. So I said, okay, so how else can we do this? What's the alternative? Because I don't want to postpone the Kaffeeklatsch. I really look forward to hanging out with you guys, right? So all right, let's try it on the phone because I have done it on the phone before. I think maybe once or twice. And I always had the intention of maybe, doing mobile Kaffeeklatches where we can go elsewhere. I could take you guys with me and we can just go do Kaffeeklatches. So here we are. This is the lean, mean mob Kaffeeklatsch. No frills, no nothing. It's just us hanging out. Rick, thank you for coming. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for dropping in, Rick. It's awesome to see you. Um, yeah, just post a link so I can post comments, but this is like really no frills. So let me say hello to everyone who's here. Let me see. Hello, Connie, welcome. Sherbear, welcome. You've been a while, so you're here. I'm sorry you're here on our strangely different kind of setup, but you're here, and that's the important thing. Dolly's home. I'm solo today, but she's home. So I'm in the car. Not that I'm driving, but I'm in the car. Let's see who else is here. Jeanette, good morning. Really early morning from where you are down under. Paige, hola, Paige. Let's see. Rick, yeah, I know you got to go, Rick. That's funny, Paige, that it's actually better than usual. We may have to start doing it this way. Audrey, hello. Oh, I won't be able to read your questions, Audrey, but I have them um, on my computer. They're saved over there, but I don't have them here on my phone. Oh, let's see. Yes, Lee, I'm on my phone because the service in the house, it's being upgraded, so I can't get online. So this is why I'm here on the phone. What is this? This is the Kaffeeklatsch, the lean mean version of the Kaffeeklatsch, the car version, the mobile Kaffeeklatsch. You heard of the MoB Kaffeeklatsch? This is the mobile Kaffeeklatsch. So this is where I'm at. I'm in the car. How is everyone doing today? No, stay right where you are. You go to your car too. No, I don't think everybody needs to go to their car. I should have brought my coffee. I had coffee at home. It's sitting on my desk. I should have brought my thermos and my coffee to stay in the spirit of the Kaffeeklatsch. How's everyone doing? Okay, so I'm just gonna. This is all basically winging it. Thank you guys for being here. Um, Huge shout out to all of you. Yeah, the backlighting because I have the sunroof, so the backlighting is there. It's nice. A huge shout out to all of you that are here from both YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for being here. Heather, not yet. Hopefully, supposedly, we're supposed to get 35 inches of snow this year. I'm going to hope that they're really wrong about this because it's not really cold. It's like 48 degrees. But it hasn't gotten cold yet. I'm hoping we don't get that crazy amount of snow. I would not be happy having to drive and all that stuff. But yeah, so the weather's nice. The trees are turning. I kind of want to show you guys. I'm gonna try and show you guys. 'Cause I can go outside. I can take you guys outside with me now, right? So, uh, behind me, you can see the trees. See the trees all turning, so they're like yellow, greenish, yellow. You can still see them, right? It's my neighborhood back here, kind of quiet, peaceful. Oh, okay, back in the car. Good morning. I want to say Gwydrin. It looks like Gwydrin, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, that's the status of our Kaffeeklatsch this morning. For those of you that are new, if this is your first time, doesn't usually look this way. I don't usually do it from the car, but my internet service has been acting funky today. It's being upgraded, and so I figured the alternative was to do this way. So here we are, and welcome to the Kaffeeklatsch. If you have questions about any of the stories you read, you want to ask them today because I'm here. And I can answer kind of questions about what I'm in the middle of Nemesis right now. I'm really focused on Nemesis. I have some TMM stuff to do that's on the side. I guess I can get into it for the patrons, but I don't want to give too much about the TMM stuff. But Nemesis I can get into. If you have any questions about Deadeye, definitely. Good morning, Mary Beth. Welcome. If you have any questions about Deadeye, I can definitely answer questions about Deadeye because by this time I hope all of you read it. I've been notified by Dolly, she's not here, but she's always around me, that Frozen Fire only has 2 reviews. So please, if you get a chance, Frozen Fire just dropped. And I know you guys, I know you're not really big into the romantasy, a lot of you, but you want to kind of, you know, support the book. So please do a review for Frozen Fire. All right. And just it doesn't have to be anything extensive. It could just be, hey, the book is awesome. Why do we have the alternate identities? I don't know. Why do we have alternate identities? That's a good question. This is the Patreon link. Thank you, Chris. I have no way of putting up links here because I'm on my phone, so it would take too long. My fingers are big, and my keyboard is small, so there'll be a lot of mistakes. So alternate identities, I don't know why you have alternate identities. Maybe because we're on the mobile version? I don't know. You're on YouTube, so I don't know. But you're here, and that's what matters. So that's our Patreon link. We have some amazing stories on Patreon. I want to thank you all. And we've had new supporters who joined us, but I don't have the list with me because it's all at home. I'm not far. I'm actually like literally across the street from my house. So the list is at home. And but I want to give a huge shout out to all of you who support me through Patreon, who support the writing through Patreon. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, each day we're adding people each day. It's insane how Patreon is blowing up. It's incredible. And I don't know. I really don't have the words besides thank you, arigato gozaimasu. It's like gracias. There's so many different ways to say thank you, but I really, really appreciate you guys going above and beyond, joining the Patreon, increasing your tiers, and making it amazing. And every time I say, it's like, oh my god! And the list in the books now, at the end of each book, there's a Patreon supporter list, and it used to be like 50 people. Now it's like it just goes on and on and on and on. Like, wow, it's really exploding. So thank you so much. Oh, you're a gamer. Okay, there you go. That's why. Yeah. Thank you, Lee. Thank you. So I just hi Laura. Have a great weekend, Laura. It's good that you can drop in and say hello. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope everything is going well physically and that you're doing okay. Have a great weekend. And those of you that are getting ready for Thanksgiving, get your prep stuff done early because places get kind of crazy towards the end of next week. So this weekend, Monday, Tuesday, try to get everything done by then, and then you can, be ready for your Thanksgiving. So quick poll. How's the goatee looking? Let me know. Should I keep it as a goatee or should I let the full beard grow in again? That's a quick poll there for you guys. So I don't know. I was looking at it today. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just let the beard grow back in again. It's a lot of hassle to shave this thing, and with the goatee, I could just go full grizzly, just let it grow, and then every so often trim. Your thoughts, guys? All right, so let's see what I'm trying to remember what I do. I like, the goatee is actually it's low maintenance, which is what I like about it. I just let it grow and kind of keep it trimmed. The no facial hair, I was looking like a little kid. It's like, geez. Hello, Elise. No, it's not. Okay. All right. Let me backtrack a little bit, Elise. And everybody here already kind of knows it. I am not a romanticy writer by nature. So, um, I'm trying it with the Fate of the Dark Mages, which is the Frozen Fires book 3 in the Fate of the Dark Mages. It's still not really romantic in there. It's like tension, but there's not much romance. So if it's spicy, no, it's not spicy at all. I don't even think there's any spice anywhere near that story yet. At some point, I have to introduce it's because it's enemies to lovers, so I have to introduce the romance aspect of this romantasy. I don't know quite how I'm going to do that, but it'll be coming in, and it's still not going to be very spicy. So I hope that kind of gives you a try. You can go try it. Um, yeah, I didn't. That's why I was. That's why I had the beard, Chris, because I didn't want to shave, but I kind of like just the goatee. Then I'm gonna try that. It's a good middle ground. We'll see if we can keep that for a little while. I don't. Yeah, Mary Beth, I agree. I agree. Thank you, Elise. And welcome. At least I don't think I've seen your name here. So welcome to our very pared down Kaffeeklatsch today. It's like the really bare bones, lean, mean Kaffeeklatsch. It's usually a lot more frou frou. If we want to say that. Um, yeah, I like the goatee. I should let you write my romance port. Yeah, heck no. No way. So book 3 is out. Frozen Fire is out. The romance is it's really really hard to see because it's very little of it in there. But the book is set. The setting is there for actual friends, enemies to lovers tension, which is there. It really happened in book 3, so it's good. It's good. I'm leaning towards one. I don't know if I can make it to 10 books with this one. I think it might be more 5 books. Like I know I can get the tension to shift the pendulum from enemies to friends to uh I guess it's enemies to lovers. Is that what it's supposed to be? Enemies to good friends, maybe friends with benefits. I don't know, but I can get it to shift by book 4, and then book 5 could be actual more romantic tension. And I think I might close the series there. Yeah. Yeah. The carpool class. Yes, Paige, that's it. The mob carpool class. Carpool Kaffeeklatsch. Yes. No, that's okay, Elise. You love non-spicy. Yeah. I'm for my homework as a writer, I'm listening to spicy stuff and non-spicy stuff, and I've read what was I reading? The Onyx Wing, the one with the what is it, Rebecca Yarros. I read that, but it screwed with my point of view, and my readers immediately said, "What the heck is going on?" My beta readers, you guys in the art, so it messed up with my point of view writing because I really got into the series. The Fourth Wing, I think it's. I don't remember the name of the series, but I've been reading and listening to romantasy, and spicy stuff. It's just hard to get my head wrapped around it. I'm not a romance writer, and so, but I'm trying to get ideas from that to kind of sprinkle it in my story. We'll see if it ends up taking. I don't know. I read the other one, The Court of Rose and the Thorns, and that one. Forget that's not Rebecca Yarros. That's Carol J. Maas. I read that too. I read a few books in that. I don't know. My brain is too streamlined for the romance. Romance, I could see why it's such a big genre. I really can. I understand it completely. And I'm not knocking romance at all. I think it is what it is. It needs and it's people love it. It's just that my brain is too efficient in that. I guess in that sense, in terms of the writing, romance writing has a lot of indirect tangents, uh, streams of consciousness. Does he really love me? I can't believe I let him get away. And it's a lot of that, and I don't entertain that in life. But it's really hard for me to do that right. Oh, I'm glad you were able to squeeze it in. Thank you, Isa. Thank you. So I'm trying. I'm gonna try. I'm not promising 10 books in the Fate of the Dark Mages, but definitely 5 for sure. But please go leave your reviews. If you haven't read it, please go read it. And if you've read it, leave a review. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could just be, hey, I read it. It was great. I'm kidding. You don't have to say that, but you could say I read it. It was, and whatever you felt. One of the things I've always and I've told other authors about this is that the reviews are not for you. The reviews are for other authors, for other readers. So don't take them personally. And always, as you guys know me, always develop rhino skin. You need rhino skin if you're going to be an author. You can't take things personally. Yeah, it's too dreamy. I think that's the right word. It's very dreamy. It's very, it's in your feelings up there. Not that urban fantasy doesn't have that, but Simon, when he ruminates, when he thinks about things, it's not about how, he feels about this person or that. It's basically how he's going to survive this situation, or is he going to get his head ripped off, or things like that, So be patient with me with the romance. I don't think I'm going to try another romance after the Fate of the Dark Mages. I think that's going to be like kind of a one and done type series. And then if anybody asks, have you ever written romance? I can point to that series. Yeah, I wrote some romance there. That's about it. How are you guys doing? See, this is where I need my coffee. I'm glad I had coffee this morning, but this would be a good moment to just have coffee and just, and relax with you guys. How are all of you doing? So we are being outside doing a Kaffeeklatsch. This is like a strange sensation. But I like it because I can take you guys outside and take you to different places, and we can go do Kaffeeklatches in the park, Kaffeeklatches, in the snow, Kaffeeklatches outside, Kaffeeklatches at Costco, all kinds of Kaffeeklatches all over the place. We could definitely do that for sure. You're awesome. But I know this already. I know you're awesome. All right, so let me see if I can remember my shout out list. So I want to give a huge shout out to all of you on FB. And all of you people on Facebook. Huge shout out to all of you that are joining me today. I can't give a personalized shout out to the new Patreon members because, very friendly. I can't give you a personalized shout out because my Patreon list is home and it gets compiled, right before the show because as I was saying earlier, it's growing. The list is growing so much. The group is growing so much that it's constantly evolving. If you look at the back of the book where the Patreon page is, you'll see it's huge. But I want to give a huge shout out to all of you that are on Patreon and supporting me and supporting the writing. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. I couldn't ask for better readers. You guys, I always say I have the most amazing readers on the planet, and it's true. You guys, so Chris, you have Rain. No, that's okay. Don't bounce out. If you're Jeanette, if you go bounce out and you come back in, that's awesome. Don't worry. So Darren says, wait, Michiko and Simon is not a romance? Okay. It has been asked before. Is what's going on? Is that considered a romance? Michiko and Simon, or Monty and Roxanne, which is actually a little more overt than Michiko and Simon, right? Like the Roxanne and Monty thing is actually more out there. The Simon Michigo is there, but she's like an ancient vampire, and she's, I don't know if she has time for that kind of romance thing. Gray and 44 in the Midwest. No, it's 48. Gray and 48 here. Yeah. So, okay. This shirt is not Zazzle. This shirt is I got it from this place called Tip of the Spear, which is a veteran-run company. I like to support our veterans, and thank you all. If you're a veteran, thank you for your service. So this shirt is called Tip of the Spear. Savage Lineage is the name of the company, or at least the name of the shirt. The name of the line of the shirt is Tip of the Spear, and the name of the company is Savage Lineage. You can check them out on savagelineage.com. This is swag. So get yourself some swag at our Zazzle store, which is on EMANDES and at Zazzle.com, and you can find it there. Chris put up the link for me. Thank you, Chris. I truly appreciate it. Don't forget to use the RF link there. The RF number helps us track the analytics. And get your swag. We have so much amazing swag there. Oh, wow. Sunshine, Heather. That's nice. I'd take some of that right now. Yeah. So, as Jeanette says, Michigo and Simon are a slow, I want to say the slowest of burns in a romance. Slow burn. Like slow burn. So slow that you don't even feel it burning. That's how slow they are. Yes, Jeanette, exactly. A slow burn. 80s and sunny, you can keep that. I know where you are, Lee. Don't rub it in. Um, but it's there. The tension is there. And if you ever read the short story, The Date, you can see a little bit more than the slow burn. Like it's this kind of relationship that's not overt but very deep. Yeah. So that's the story with Simon and Michigo. With Roxanne and Monty, I would say that's less of a slow burn, but it's more Monty being reluctant because there's a story beat there or a theme there where Monty's trying to protect Roxanne, and that hasn't been developed, but has been talked about and spoken of and kind of hinted at. And so Monty's almost kind of trying to protect her by keeping slightly away from her in a way, in a sense, because to get too close will bring up too much attention, and then that will put her in danger. So it's a little bit more formal. They do care for each other. They have declared that they care for each other. It's in the stories. They've spoken about it. Monty has spoken about it. Roxanne has spoken about it. But Monty's a little bit more reluctant only because he's thinking about Roxanne's safety. And in Nemesis, I don't want to give too much away, but Monty starts discussing why, or he starts explaining, he hints at it, he starts explaining why Kali didn't curse him as severely as she cursed Simon. And he starts giving a little bit of background on that. And so part of that is also why he's reluctant to get too close to Roxanne. Right. Yeah, exactly. They have a long history, they have trust, they have mutual respect. Um, Roxanne's no slouch. Roxanne's dangerous too. She's really powerful. So Monty respects that as well. But he couldn't give her, yeah, he can't commit to her, and committing to Roxanne right now would put her in danger. More right now she's in a certain amount of danger, but Monty's been able to mitigate that. But by committing, especially after what's happening with the Grand Council, um, and she's already kind of a target if you think about it, because maybe it's not common knowledge that he cares for her, but there are connections there, right? And so if he decides to really formalize that relationship, she becomes a target, and that's a problem. Oh, let's see. Seeking in a question for Sid. Is Ezra singular across the multiple? Yes, Ezra singular. Ezra is just Azrael, but he doesn't want to spook people, so he uses Ezra. You know, but it's the same Ezra. Again, that's discussed. Where's that discussed? In Nemesis too. It's like you're reading my mind, Jeanette. Um, the whole concept of karma and death, and how everything eventually meets Ezra, is brought up in a conversation between Simon and Monty. And there have been scenes in the Delhi that Ezra's meeting with other deities, but eventually, and Ezra has alluded to this, eventually everyone meets Ezra because everything dies. And so, or faces entropy. In Ezra's case, it can be faces entropy. So, everything meets Ezra eventually. And so Monty and Simon are having that conversation, and Simon brings it up, and then Monty kind of expands on it a little bit, but I can't go too much into it because then it spoils Nemesis for you. I'm at, I want to say 33,000 words into Nemesis, and that's almost halfway. It's halfway. It's like, there's so much I have to, oh, so, geez, I don't know if I can do this. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But no, I can't spoil it for you. I really can't. I really want to share this because it's such an amazing kind of transformation for Simon. But I don't want to. I don't want to spoil it. Even Simon, yes, eventually, because even though he's cursed, right, and he's cursed immortal, at some point Kali might rescind that curse, and in that case, the question then is, how long in time has it been since he was first cursed to the time where she removes the curse, and does all the time catch up immediately and he just becomes a pile of dust, or does it happen gradually and then he starts aging slowly and then becomes a pile of dust? Like the ways to do that, you know? Yeah, Ezra's character is multifaceted. He could be involved in the conflict with the directorate or have ties to other factions that challenge and complicate Val's. Yeah, he's all over the place. Ezra could be in every single universe if I want. He could be more present than Sid if I wanted him to have a personification in each universe. There could be a kind of Ezra. And if you really want to think about it, the one character that can seamlessly go from universe to universe to universe would be Ezra, not Sid. Even though Sid is a lead designer and works with timelines, so it is within his wheelhouse to, you know, flit in and out of timelines because he can work with parallel universes and deal with quantum entanglements and things like that. Ezra is the one character that should be present in every timeline because of who he is. And so I think what would really be interesting is having a conversation between Sid and Ezra and how both of them deal with different timelines and how they meet different characters and things like that. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I can see chapter 9 there. It's a good question, though. Well, yeah, Ezra has to have an opposite personification, which is, I don't know if I alluded to it in one of the stories. Yeah, I think I did, where Simon and Monty having that conversation about what would be the opposite of meeting Ezra, because Ezra's considered like an angel of death. Is there an angel of life? And if you remember that conversation that Simon is having with Monty about angels and hierarchies and all of that, it does come up. I don't know if I detailed it because that's now I have to get into really really um, deep territory with that. With is there an opposite personification of Ezra, and will they ever meet that opposite personification? It also goes into the old gods and chaos and order, and are they agents of order? And if they're agents of order, who are the agents of chaos, and have they met them? And the answer to that is yes, and it's been discussed, but it hasn't been elaborated on. Yes, as with the Omega, there has to be an alpha, and have they met the alpha? Not quite, not yet. At least not that they're aware of. So you guys, these are great, deep, awesome questions that if you read the stories, and I've been told this a few times, the stories have so many different layers. So superficially, they're fun stories, right? Having adventures, the immortal detective, angry mage, voracious hellhound. But there are also deeper layers that if you read the story again, there are questions that are being asked that if you ponder them, you'll see that these questions are being presented little by little. And also as Simon, as a character, begins to mature, you can see that these questions are coming up for him in light of the fact that he's been cursed immortal and what that means. And it's also relevant and pertinent in Nemesis because he starts to really figure out what this curse that Kali cursed him with really mean. What does such to really mean? And how, although in the short term it seems, wow, I'm immortal, nothing can kill me. And that seems okay in the short term, but when you're 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 1,000 years old, and everyone you know is gone, it's no longer such a good thing, you know? Yeah, the depth is good. I try to, and you know what's interesting about the depth in the M&S story is because, okay, we have a few series, right? The thing about the depth in the M&S stories is that it arises. I'm sorry, I gotta make sure that I keep the camera on my face. Jeez, holding a phone. At home I have a camera, so I don't have to worry about shaking. Yes, cursed alive, not necessarily immortal, because he can die. he just keeps coming back, which is a whole different thing from being immortal in a sense. Some people say it's semantics, but I don't see it as semantics because being cursed alive doesn't mean immortal necessarily. Okay, wait. Someone this is for something. Let's see. Sid and Ezra are both tricky characters. Sid's loyalty is always in question, and Ezra seems like an ally but has his own. Yes, and that is very true. And they're both really complicated characters to portray the right way. And as Paige says, cursed alive doesn't necessarily mean immortal. Heather asks, my question on why Monty would suddenly want his birthright will probably get answered. Yes, it will get answered in Nemesis. It's true. Darren says, I was reading Archmage and this question came up. What is the true meaning of reality? Melted my... Yeah. Yeah, because these questions, they're there, and it's easy to miss them because of all the action that's happening, and they're fighting for their lives, or they're running for their lives, or they're hiding for their lives, or whatever the case may be. But the deeper questions, the moments they confront, Professor Ziller, or they have those little teaching moments at Master Yacht on Iron Fan Mountain, or the other elders, they almost seem as like throwaway scenes, but they're not. They're really important. It's just that it's hard to see the relevance of those scenes in that moment. And you have to kind of look at the overarching story, and then you start seeing that these moments are important. And they're like Simon has figured out or has found out that the Morrigan and Kali have been talking about him. And why would they be talking about them? Why would they be talking about him? And what greater role does Simon play in the larger scheme of things, which has not been demonstrated or shown? Let's see. Jeanette says, watching all die, different nightmares text showed us with Simon's passage. Yes, it's not, it's a real curse. Yeah. Yeah, I think and it's interesting that you say that, Chris, that what makes M&S so great is that as a reader, you get out of it what you want. Like if you really want to get deep into M&S, we can have some really deep philosophical quantum level questions and conversations about the nature of reality, what is magic, and what is energy, and why is it all connected. And we can go deep, Mariana Trench deep. We can go there. But if you just want a superficial story of two guys and a dog just trying to stay alive, we can stay there too. Like so it has so many layers, so many different levels, and that's what makes it fun for me. You can get really deep, or you can stay really shallow, and both are okay. Like I'm not saying you have to read it really. You have to get really deep and esoteric on it. You can just enjoy it for what it is. It's a fun adventure, or you can go really deep and get into a philosophical understanding conversation of the story. Yeah, or just fun reading. Like Elise is saying, I like how the more Simon matures, the deeper the questions get. Yeah, if you've noticed, I mean, if you're paying attention, you'll see that Simon hasn't mangled many names lately because he's becoming more mature. He still has the nature in him, but his snark or immaturity is elevating. He's upping his game as per se. Like he's just making his stuff a little more educated. And so it's fun to write. And sometimes I want to go back to the old Simon, but the character doesn't let me because he's actually maturing in my head. So I said, well, Simon wouldn't say that now. Yeah, he might have said that 5 books ago, but now he would phrase that differently. And so I have to kind of think of Simon as becoming more mature as a Aspis, Marked of Kali, energy wielder in a sense. And his response is he still has to be Simon, so he's not going to change that. He still has to be unintimidated by gods, which, let me tell you, it's a good thing he's cursed alive because he should be dead several times over. Simon is just, some of the things that I've written for Simon, like, man, this should have killed you books ago. You should have been dead books ago. Not understanding quantum theory, I rely on my weird thinking to cover for the lack of theoretical knowledge. Yeah, and that's fine. Quantum theory is, I've read it, I've studied it, and there are a lot of areas of quantum theory, quantum mechanics, quantum physics that don't fit neatly into any kind of definition. It's still very much a we're figuring it out as we go realm of science, even now, even today. And that's kind of what makes quantum theory so interesting. It's what's considered, it's why it's considered the last kind of frontier in science, because quantum mechanics, quantum theory, quantum physics, spooky action at a distance, things act one way at one size, but then at the micro level, they act differently. Observable things, things change when you observe them. You got all this kind of stuff that just happens within the quantum field, and it makes it really interesting, but it also makes it, as they say, kind of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. It's not very concrete in many things, which leaves it open for so much input, so much thought, so much theory. It's pretty interesting. And that's why it makes its way into the books. Because if you want to think about energy manipulation, and scientifically, if we're all energy, and then you manage to get to a point where you could get on a frequency where you could manipulate energy, so your energy manipulating energy, what would that do? What happens when two fields of energy interact with each other? And well, how does one field, you, get to the point where you can operate and manipulate another field of energy, let's say an orb of magic? So, and then it goes into even more interesting places where a lot of the things that we consider science, if you go back even 100 years, 200 years, would be considered magic. The fact that I'm talking to all of you right now on a device where you can see my face, you can hear my voice, this would be considered witchcraft magic 200 years ago. Easy. It's amazing, right? So it's like, so a lot of things that we say are science, now we're considered magic. A lot of things that we consider magic now or really supernatural now may be commonplace 100 years from now around the world, because Jeanette's in Australia. You guys are all over the US. Marie is in Romania. I mean, it's like literally around the world. So when Kirk pulled out his device to speak to the ship, that was science fiction, right? And now I pull out my phone to call my sister who's on another side part of the country, and that's fact. That's not even, you didn't even sneeze at that. Or to speak to someone in any other part of the world. It's insane. Yeah, the magic, or the car. I don't think quite, Paige, that we're gonna get to a dark goat level car in my lifetime anytime soon, because the dark goat is like, yeah, dark goat is on a whole different level of accepted magical transformations. A car that can explode, right? Hold that explosion for a few seconds and then reintegrate itself into the car again. Yeah, that's next level stuff. you know yes, I'm like a modern level Captain Kirk. That's exactly right, Lee. Thank you for that compliment. um yeah, the dark goat is like right up there with in terms of sci-fi, transportation, like the teleporting down to the planet surface, how you have to disintegrate a body and reintegrate a body, and it's like nothing. We're nowhere near that kind. I mean, it's been attempted, and they're trying to create teleporters, but we're nowhere near that technology. The dark goat is several iterations of technology ahead of that. It's just quantum levels different, and that is the power of quantum coffee. Yes. I wonder if anyone created quantum coffee. I'm sure that's a brand that must exist. Let's see. No. Oh yeah. Well, Paige, like I remember seeing in the World's Fair, the 1960s World's Fair, where they had, we at this point we were going to be having flying cars and super car, cars that were just super technologically advanced. We're not quite there yet, but yeah, it's true. Even that concept of 200 years ago, a car 200 years ago was a horse, and now it's I'm in a car, and in this car, I have a map that could tell me. You don't even need to use paper maps anymore. I have GPS in the car. It's like it's crazy the tech that's around us. Chris says, "Oh my God, today's news in North Carolina, a bald eagle dropped its prey through the front windshield of a Tesla. Wow, and the prey was a cat. Jeez." So if you figure at the height that most bald eagles fly, and the velocity, it's like dropping a cannonball on a car. Because if it goes right through the front windshield, if the car is going fast, this is like a math problem. If you have a bald eagle carrying a cat flying at 100 miles an hour, and there's a Tesla driving at 60 miles an hour, what kind of impact will that cat make on the windshield, kind of thing? So that's what it sounds like. One of those math problems. And you go outside because it's warm in here, and outside it's really cool. It's 48 degrees. Hold on. Okay. Where's my sister? She knows exactly where I'm at right now. Hold on, let me get my keys. I don't want to lock my keys in the car. Not that I can, but okay, I'm outside. I'm outside. My sister will recognize where I am right now. I don't think they should show the cat or the eagle. There's not going to be much cat after that impact. That cat's going to be like fat particles. Yes, Lee, you know exactly where I'm at, right? She was driving and the whole, yeah, because think about the impact. Just the fact of the gravity working on the cat and it meeting the windshield of the Tesla, that's going to create a major hole for sure. Well, I'm in a t-shirt, but I run hot, Jeanette. So 40 degrees for me this is actually the most comfortable time of the year for me, because in the summer I'm drenched in sweat because my body runs so hot. And in the winter, I don't really feel the winter that much. It's cold, but it's like, eh. But the best times of the year for me are fall and spring. Yeah. Why would she hang me out to dry? Why, Aaron? Why? No, Lee's not gonna tell you about the neighborhood. But she knows where I'm at. She knows where. The terminal velocity of a cat. There's a formula for that. Because I had to look it up a few times for a few stories. What terminal velocity was. I gotta. I have a keychain. This is what I can show you. Like, this is my keychain that my child, one of the houses got me. This helmet. Show you. See the helmet? And it says Roma. It's from Rome. And it's a Spartan helmet. Because you look carefully, you can see the detail on it. It's very cool. I was ordered to put it on my keychain immediately once I got it. Yeah. Well, our winter is supposed to be really cold, so I'm figuring your summer is going to be really hot, you know? Yeah, kind of. So basically what I wear for the winter, or what I can wear, what I get away with, is shorts and a t-shirt for the winter. Maybe I'll throw on a light sweater. I've been known to do that, and people look at me like there's something wrong with me. It's like, no, I don't really feel this temperature. Yes, we used to. Right behind me. Now that there's a fence, there's a gate. But when I was growing up, there was no gate or fence, and us feral kids used to run through the buildings behind me like little maniacs. No, I don't get colds. That's the thing, Aaron. I don't get colds. So the whole house could be sick, and I'm just walking around like, okay, you guys all, I gotta go. I have to go to CVS and get you some meds and make sure you guys are okay and pamper you and all this stuff. But I don't really get colds. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I don't. Put it through. I don't get sick, and I don't give sicknesses to them. I don't know if they give them to me though. I don't think so. No, I never really get them from them either. Yeah, well, I don't have a lot of stuff on my keys. I just have a lot of big rings. Like Dolly calls me like the warning. So I have like big rings because I have big fingers. And so these allow me to hold the rings easily. So the car thing and the Spartan helmet. The Spartan helmet is really the only decorative thing I have on my keys. And yeah, now I'm a big maniac. This is true. I am. So to give you guys keep you guys updated on my sandbag, because my sister is the one who gets the sandbag updates. I'm at 175 pounds with the sandbag, right? I'm fighting this thing. So I'm doing sandbag rows. So basically, just picking up this big bag of sand from the ground and rowing it, like just rowing it. And then I also do sandbag squats. And it's like when I'm doing them, the thought that runs through my head is why? Why are you doing this to yourself? But I've gotten stronger, which is amazing. So that's it. What is the velocity? What was that? What is the velocity of a cat-lated eagle? That's a good question, Paige. I'm sure there's a mathematical equation to figure that out. Like how big is the cat? How fat was the cat? How heavy? All that kind of stuff. Oh, listen. The owner of the Sandwich company, it's called Freedom Strings. I'm going back in. I'm getting a lot of strings. It's toasty in here. The owner of the sandbag company has shouted me out on Instagram. We're like buds now. It's a very small company, and he's like, yeah, because it's really good. So if you ever want to buy a sandbag, Freedom Strength. I don't get any. This is not. I'm not endorsed by them or supported by them. They make really good sandbags. I've been taking mine and throwing it around and fighting with it and moving it around. The other day, Dolly kicked it and almost hurt her foot because the thing about 175 pounds of sand is that it's not pliable. It's not mobile. It's not going to move when you kick it. So she kicked it and it kind of just stayed there. It was like kicking a tree. You don't want to do that with a sandbag. Let's see. Yeah, my keychains. Yeah, my keychains are industrial size, Aaron. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, 6 kilograms is good. If you're just starting out, that's like 12 something pounds or 12, almost 13 pounds. Good job, Jeanette. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. Right, Chris. That's what I was saying. If the eagle is really high, it increases the velocity of the cat. So it's like throwing a cannonball through that windshield, basically. Yeah. It's like when you jump into, like people who jump off bridges into rivers, you think, oh, they're just going to splash into the water. No, the water after a certain height becomes like landing on concrete. So you got to be careful. One does wonder. True. It depends on the eagle too. Yeah. Okay. This is blanket for everyone. As we get less young, you want to improve your fitness level. Just because you want to stick around longer, you want to be healthier. You don't want to be older and have 100 million pains and aches and agony. And a lot of things that I do, I don't recommend you do what I do because what I do would be considered slightly insane. Um, But I've been doing it for a long time, pretty much since I was very young. I've been training or doing some kind of physical exercise, right? So, you just, even if it's getting outside and walking, do that. Just get out there and walk. Um, if you feel so inclined, get yourself a good pair of sneakers and run. And it doesn't mean you have to go run a marathon. You can run the length of a block or just the length of your driveway, whatever it takes. Just you have to move. Your body needs movement. You have to stay moving. That's really important. So stay moving. Exactly. And surprisingly, there are statistics in that as the older people get, and if they're not fit, and I'm not saying fit like Olympia level fit, but just fit in terms of fairly healthy, they fall. One of these big statistics is that the people who fall and break their hip and then they can't get up, and then it's a downhill um, trajectory from there, from falling and not being mobile, and then you can't walk, and then you need a cane, or that you need. It just goes downhill. So it doesn't really cost you anything to prolong the time that you have. Fitness is so important, but I'm not saying you need to go be a bodybuilder. Just go for a walk. Daily walks are good. Pick up a pair of 1 pound weights. You think 1 pound's not much unless you've boxed, like I have fought. Gloves are 16 ounces. After a few rounds, those 16 ounces feel like 10 pounds because your arms are just, oh my God, I can't lift. So even 1 pound weights, get a pair of 1 pound weights, go walk in the street and carry your weights. Don't you have to do anything extreme, but just stay mobile, stay fit. It's so important. Let's see. Leg presses up to, ooh, that's great. 230 pounds. Yeah. Yeah, Heather, I'm sorry. That's not fun. Popping any part of your body that shouldn't be popped is bad. I've had friends who when we used to grapple, have popped shoulders, like dislocated shoulders. I had one friend pop an elbow out of sock. Oh, that one just looked bad, looked gnarly. I've had a few friends pop knees. Have a few friends roll ankles. It's never fun. It's never fun. I'm just slightly but see the thing is, Aaron, I didn't just start. I've been doing this my entire life. I've been a maniac in terms of staying fit and crazy, and it's just that it just increased exponentially as I got older. You know, I didn't start with 206 beast kettlebells. I worked my way up to there from 30-pound kettlebells, and I did start with a 175-pound sandbag, but I figured 175 isn't that heavy. Wow, was I mistaken? It's 175 pounds on a sandbag is not 175 pounds on a barbell or anything else. 175 pounds on a sandbag is the sandbag sits on the ground and looks at you and cackles in your face as you try to lift it off the ground. And it is, oh, you thought you were strong, huh? Oh, I guess not. And you're just sweating and struggling and trying to get that thing off the ground. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this is only 175 pounds. Why is this such work? Because it's 175 pounds of sand that's unstable and is fighting you every step of the way. So, but I haven't achieved anything superhuman. It's just consistency is the key. Remember that. Not just in training, not just in fitness, although like Jeanette is doing, little by little, small steps. And this is what we'll call hashtag life lesson. I had this with the Valkyries. Consistency is what you need to focus on. You need to be consistent. You need to not try to do it all at once, but a few steps, a few small steps every single day, and you can do amazing things. Well, okay, so the sandbag that I have, the sandbag episode. The sandbag that I have is a 200-pound sandbag, right? And I said, I'm going to start low and only fill it up to 175 because I don't know if I'm going to be able to move 200 pounds. Yeah, the routine is the same thing with writing. Like I've told my children, I don't write a whole book in one day. You guys see me. It's a little bit every day. 2,000 words today, 3,000 words today, 2,000 words the next day. A good day, 4,000 or 5,000 words that day, 2,000 words over the weekend, whatever. You see me doing a little bit, and before you know it, there's a whole book. That's how life is. You plug away at things, you get it done, just a little bit every single day. So yeah, so what I did with the sandbag, I got a 200-pound sandbag, but I wasn't going to fill up to 200 pounds because I knew 200 was going to be pushing it to start with. So I got the 200-pound sandbag. I filled it to 175. When I tried to move that thing, it really did shock me. But it did what Jeanette just said. It got me to really enter my body and space and approach this weight in a different way. And I know I told the story in the mall about how I carried a Poland Spring pack of water and I was pissed the whole way because it felt heavy. And it's only like a 24 pack or whatever was this little pack of water. And I'm like, how can this be heavy? I lift things 10 times this weight. So yeah, we're getting the human page. We are. So that's the whole story about the sandbag. I'm not gonna go I'm not gonna go into more detail about the sandbag. How are you guys doing with the stories? Are there any questions about the stories? Because I can't. Oh, just the first time I'm not gonna ask you questions because I'm not home in front of the computer, but I know your questions are there. But I'll save it for the next Cafe Clutch. You get add more questions, but I'll save these questions for this Cafe. This is Cafe Clutch 157, so I'll remember to keep the 157 questions for 158 too. Let's see. I have arthritis. Yes, I'm that old, and definitely agree that exercise helps keep my body moving. Plus, for some reason, I end up with a big grin when I'm doing it. Yeah, that's great because exercise, the endorphins and the dopamine make you happy. And in terms of what you're dealing with arthritis, yeah, I recently had a battle with gout, which is I've been told is arthritis of some kind, right? That's what I've been told. But the last time I went to see the doctor, which is last week, he said, "So, how you doing? Do you need the allopurinol?" And I haven't taken one of the allopurinol. I just dealt with diet and exercise, and I haven't had any gout uh, outbreaks or whatever they're called, gout explosions since I really started moving my body and taking care of what I'm eating. So, um, the arthritis is a real thing, and it will stop you. But if you can push through it, Marie, without hurting yourself, right? You don't want to hurt yourself. But if you can push through the arthritis and take care of your body in a way where you can do the exercises, you will get dopamine hits and you get endorphin and you'll feel great. You have a big grin and your body will thank you by being more mobile. And like Jeanette said, use exercise to deal with depression because, again, the depression, the edge gets taken off through the dopamine and the endorphins and how you're rewiring your brain. These are real things. It's not me. It's not Orlando making this up. I know I'm a writer. I make up stories. I'm not making up these stories. These are things that you can really do that will alter your way of living, will alter your way of life, but also alters the way you deal with reality. It's basically you creating a new reality. For example, if you're sedentary and you can't move, the reality you've created is a small one because you're limited in where you can go, what you can do, how you can move. But if you decide to exercise and train and move around, you have amplified your life. You've amplified your world. Now you can get out and take a walk or, go to the store. You've changed your life. It's important. So you alter the way you deal with life and you expand your world. Now you don't feel like I can't go over there because I can't even climb a flight of stairs. Because I know people who were that heavy before who couldn't climb a flight of stairs without struggle, and now can. It changes everything. No, it's okay, Paige. I understand. Listen, I don't always say to everyone, life happens. You do what you got to do. And, whatever life lets you do, you do. But I appreciate all of you. Even if you can't read it at the moment, and later on when you can, you do. That's all. Jeanette says, moving my body gets me out of my head. Yes, you get out of your head, get into your body, and you feel good doing it. Polyvagal says, yes, Jeanette, that's it. Don't feel bad, Paige. You do what you got to do. Yeah, she said, I can't comment a question on the stories, just so dang busy. I haven't been able to read a picture. That's fine. They're not going anywhere. Nemesis is getting off Patreon because once it goes live, we can't have it on Patreon. But the other stories, they stay there. So yeah. Running helps me as much as lifting. Yeah, so much as lifting. Yes, true. And Chris says, I do miss running. I used to run a lot. You can ask my sister. I was a track fiend, and we spent our childhood just basically running. And I grew up playing handball, which is a running sport. You're always moving, always running. There's a lot of back and forth and left to right. But I just row these days now. I do a lot of rowing. A lot of rowing. I row 5,000 meters every day, which I think that's about 3.2 miles. But it's good. Oh, and I've been doing it with what time is it? Oh, we got like 10 minutes. I've been doing it with nasal breathing, which, oh my God, I thought I was good at rowing until I tried rowing with nasal breathing. And it was like, this is crazy. I don't know how people could do this. And now I'm adapting, but it's crazy. Running is great. I mean, if you're a runner, if you've ran in your life and you ever hit that runner's high, there's really nothing that comes close to that. It's amazing to run. There's a great feeling, a great sensation of liberty and liberation, and your body just feels free when you run. It's a great sensation. The only problem with running is that it wrecks your knees over many years. It is really amazing. It's amazing, but it's a cost because I would love to run now, but I think I have to lose a good 20, maybe 30 pounds before I'd even consider doing it again. You know? Yeah, that's the best. If you're gonna run and you can start at like 5:45 as the sun is maybe just peeking over the horizon, it's a great sensation to do that and watch the sun run with the sun as it's rising. That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Jeanette, run now if I run, it's not a good idea. I can row though. I can definitely row. But since I don't live near a river or the sea, even though I am near a sea, I don't live near the sea. I'll row in my rower and keep it at that. Yeah, Lesikani says, I love it when I'm in the pool, especially when I play water volleyball. That's such great. I love watching that. With a beach ball with some of the seniors I might look with. Water volleyball is a great sport. I made sure that all the kids could swim. So, yeah. Yes, I know. My sister's a little insane. She has no cartilage in her knees, and yet she runs a lot every day. See, Paige is on my page, and I tell Dolly this all the time. I don't run. If you see me running, you need to be sprinting because if I'm running, whatever is behind me is trying to eat us. So if I'm running, you need to be doing 100-meter dashes away in the direction that I'm going because I don't run. I don't run. I don't do running. So it's not that I can't run. I just choose not to run. I don't run. So there you go. This has been really fun, guys. The carpool Kaffeeklatsch. I like that. Carpool Kaffeeklatsch. I want to thank you guys for being here today too. We still got like 7 minutes. We're not ending the episode yet, but I just want to say thank you guys for being here. And it seems to have been more stable than when we do it at home and have all the setup and the rig and everything is there. And this on the phone seems to be doing much better than it does when I'm on the computer. It's crazy. It's been great, yeah. Because now we can do this. I can start taking you guys all over the place. We can start walking around. We can walk around the neighborhood, and then I can start showing you the sights. Or we can go to Starbucks. We can have Starbucks Kaffeeklatsch, library Kaffeeklatsch. Although the library, we have to be like the library Kaffeeklatsch and keep things low. Away, yes, exactly, Jeanette. What direction is run? Away, away. Yeah, I think, just walk around and what I can do, like for Audrey and everybody's questions is get them, print them out or email them to myself so I can have the questions for the show because the questions are really important. So I can still access them and then just go around to different places. Today's Kaffeeklatsch will be at X place and like that. The Peaches Destruction Kaffeeklatsch. This building was standing prior to Peaches, but once Peaches got here, well, let me show you the debris. Things like that. I know. I mean, that's the only thing. I gotta make sure I bring my thermos of coffee because we cannot have a Kaffeeklatsch without cafe. The cafe in the Kaffeeklatsch is essential. At least I tried yoga a long, long time. Ooh, go to Cats. That's Audrey. In the summer, we'll do that. I think that'll be great. Just go to Cat's Deli and have a Kaffeeklatsch. It's loud in Cat's Deli, so I'm gonna have to be yelling. That is an excellent idea. At least I did yoga a long, long, long time ago. I haven't done it since, but I appreciate yoga. It's good for that kind of flowing feeling. Exactly. Paige, I don't have to run fast. I just have to run faster than whoever's slower than me. I'm going. That's it. Thank you for raising that coffee. As soon as I get home, I'm gonna drink my coffee. Work on some Nemesis. I'm in a good part of Nemesis. Oh my God, this part of Nemesis that I'm in. I don't want to say anymore, but it's taking the turn. So one thing that I've learned about the stories over time, especially the M&S stories, is that some of them have really slow buildups, and then They go feral, and then I can't hold, and then they get out of control. So I try to control the buildups so they're not insanely slow, but at the same time, this, because Nemesis is almost like part 2 of Deadeye, I have to kind of let it go and do it what it needs to do, you know. Thank you. Thank you. But you're biased because you're my sister, and I have to pay you for you to say that I look amazing. Oh, this has been such a fun show. I'm glad we did. I'm glad we didn't cancel because I was on the cusp of like, I guess we can postpone it till after Thanksgiving or whatever. But this has been fun. I'm glad we did it. It's been awesome. You guys can see the interior of the car. There we go. Air in here. Good stuff in here. So open the door again. Doors open. Oh, nice breeze. That breeze is so nice. All right, go to class, Lee. I don't want to keep you. Go on. You can't be late. Yeah, Fear's good, you know. Thank you, Audrey. I have your questions, so I make sure to read them in episode 158. Heather says we have a haven from the Yule Cat. Oh, a new M&S this year. Yeah, we do. We will. Jeanette says, Rita, I don't mind Fear either. Let's see, Aaron says, well, I need to go get a shower. Home nurses do. Oh, go get a shower. We're almost done. It's like 2 minutes left, so go do what you got to do, guys. You are biased. Oh, you know what? I will definitely show you my sandbag in the next episode of Kaffeeklatsch, so you guys can see what all this ruckus is about. Guys, thank you so much for being here. You guys are phenomenal. You're amazing. Remember my 3 B's. Be kind, because it doesn't cost you anything to be kind, and everyone needs a little kindness in their lives, right? Yes? Yes. Be unstoppable, because the only person that can stop you is you. So don't let anything or anyone stop you. And be uncommon, because remember, there's only one of you in the whole of this universe. There's only one. Embrace your uncommonality. Be uncommon. Be amazing. You know, don't let anyone diminish your amazingness. Thank you for being here. Have a fantastic, awesome weekend. If you're in a place like me where it's getting a little cold, stay warm. If you're in a place that's warm, stay cool. Get outside. Bundle up if you have to. Just get outside, get some steps in, and walk and enjoy your day. And happy Thanksgiving to all of you that celebrate Thanksgiving, because it's coming this week, and I won't see you until after Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving! You guys are fantastic. There are going to be more stories on the Patreon page soon. More parts, more snippets, sections of the story. So stay posted, you know, because it's coming. Let's see what else. Yeah, I didn't want to cancel my breath because the Kaffeeklatsch is so fun. Yeah. And yeah, enjoy your Thanksgiving. And remember, we don't just celebrate it once a year. We celebrate it every week, but really try to celebrate your Thanksgiving every day. Be thankful, be grateful every day. Every day that you have a day that you can see the sun and you're up and you're out is a day to be grateful for. That's just at that, just beginning like that. Start your day with gratitude. It's really important. Talk to you later, Lee. Bye. All right, so guys, I don't know how else to say it, because you guys are so awesome, and I'm always in awe of how amazing you guys are. Thank you. I don't have any closing music because I'm in the car. But you know, I just want you guys to just thought that it's so important that we do this, because we have to create spaces for readers and authors, and don't forget that we support our indie authors, and just to spend time together. It's what makes the MoB so special. It's what makes our space so special. And I'm always in gratitude for each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Have a great Thanksgiving. And even if you might have some family you may not get along with this Thanksgiving, just be gracious and enjoy your Thanksgiving. Take care, everyone. It's 12:41. And have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Adios. Bye.